we're leaning into what winter really wants us to do, which is slow down, take care of ourselves, reflect, and kind of just purifying our energy before we head into spring where things like ramp up. Hello, my loves. Welcome back to my channel. I am so grateful that you're here. As always, today's video, I feel like it is really important this time of year. It's end of January as I'm filming this, beginning of February as I post it. And I just want to come on here and talk about ways that we can, I don't want to say survive winter, but just like embrace the season. I love leaning into the themes of the season. And I just am very passionate about the idea that like a lot of us get this seasonal depression because we're not leaning into what winter is asking us to do. And I have so many videos on this going all the way back to the journaling video I had about the winter solstice. So I'm going to try not to repeat myself too much, but really I'm focusing on this year, especially living a magical life. And I feel like a part of living a magical life is tuning into the themes of the seasons. And I love to celebrate the wheel of the year, the different Sabbats like the winter solstice. And today we're going to talk about Imbolc and the spring equinox, which is on the horizon, and we can feel it and we get so excited about the feelings of spring coming. So come along with me as I share some ways that I am just keeping my spark in this season of life with the heaviness of winter and world events and motherhood and postpartum. I'm still finding inspiration and hope and that alignment and spark within me. All right, first of all, let's talk about Imbolc really quickly, since that is kind of like the overarching theme of this video is like how we can celebrate Imbolc and what Imbolc means and how we can really leverage that energy right now. So Imbolc is the halfway point between the winter solstice and the spring equinox, just kind of like Samhain or Halloween is the halfway point between the autumn equinox and the winter solstice. There's these halfway points between each of the equinoxes and solstices. So this one I feel like is really special because it really gives us hope of spring. Like you can start to see, or maybe not see, but feel the very first sparks of spring. And I think the literal term like Imbolc means in the belly, and this dates back to like so many ancient traditions, pagan traditions all around the world. But for me, I've mentioned this so many times, I love celebrating the wheel of the year and the Sabbats because we all share it. We're all on earth, and I think it's really beautiful and unifying, which we need unifying energy right now more than ever to celebrate these points where the earth is in our solar system that we all share because we're all on this planet together. So we're like deep in the belly of winter, like I said, but it's about maintaining that hope and that spark that spring is coming. Spring will come. It will come. That is certain. That is a fact. It will come eventually. It also kind of lines up with this theme of February, which I will put the post up here. I saw this on Instagram. I didn't know this. February, like the root of it is a Latin word, and really the theme of that month is purification. So it's kind of like we're leaning into what winter really wants us to do, which is slow down, take care of ourselves, reflect, and kind of just purifying our energy before we head into spring where things like ramp up and there's a lot of this positive energy to go and do more things. But really lean into that energy of like, okay, I'm stuck in the house. We've literally been stuck in the house the past week because we had a big winter storm. I think a lot of the country had a big winter storm, and that can make you feel like you're going crazy. But instead of letting it drive me crazy, I had my moments. I definitely had my moments, especially with 2 kids at home. But I also leaned into like my cozy habits. Like I've been putting this Twilight Lego set together, and it has been making my Twilight heart so happy. And it's just so fun and relaxing, where you could be reading, or what are some other cozy habits, or I should say hobbies rather, hobbies that you want to lean into this winter. Like pick up some new fun, cozy hobbies. It's not about like output right now. It is not about output. It is about going within and nurturing yourself. So like maybe you want to pick up Legos. Like that is a new hobby for me, a new alignment activity for me. Maybe you want to go to the library and pick up some new books. Maybe you want to try some new like cozy games. I see people doing cozy games on like their Nintendo Switches all the time. I don't have one of those, but I feel like that could be something that's really fun for a lot of people. So lean into those cozy hobbies. I'm also, even though I just said it's not about output, I am going to take some time this week to declutter a little bit. I'm just going to pick a few areas in my house, nothing overwhelming, nothing big. I'm thinking like the pantry and the closet in my bathroom, which is funny because I actually did that last year. It needs a revamp again, and just go through and just tidy up a little bit. Think about areas in your house that maybe bring you a lot of stress when you are interacting with those areas. Can you go and spend a few minutes like tidying up and reorganizing that area? I know organizing can be an alignment activity for a lot of people. By the way, if you don't know what alignment activity is, it's something that just brings you so much joy. You forget time and space are passing. Those alignment activities are very important in winter. They're important all year, but especially in winter. Like I said, to keep that inner flame, that spark ignited. You got to keep yourself, your soul warm. Along with organizing and decluttering, which is another theme of Imbolc, I'm going to do a little bit of a digital cleanup, and this overwhelms me. I'm going to be honest. I'm so overwhelmed by my camera roll. I feel like a lot of people can relate to this. I have way too many pictures and videos on my phone, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to use some time as I'm rocking my daughter. That is a time that I've been trying to leverage, either by just like being in the moment with her, singing to her, which is so fun, or sometimes I listen to my audiobook or a podcast when I'm rocking her and feeding her. But I'm also going to dedicate a little bit of that time to just try to go through my camera roll month by month. Again, don't be overwhelmed by this, because if you're like me, I have like over 20,000 videos and photos. I know it's ridiculous. It's crazy, but I just want a better system for that. So maybe I might even like put a little reminder in my calendar to go through it each month so it doesn't build up. And I also want to start uploading some of those videos and photos into different hard drives, one for Arlo and one for Luna, because we don't have like home videos anymore. It's all just on our phone, and I want to put it all together in one spot so I can give it to them when they're older, so they have all these memories to look back on. Because if they're just stuck on my phone, what good is that? So don't be overwhelmed by that, but like, what's a little digital cleanup that you can do? I feel like that is such a beautiful thing to do in the winter and for Imbolc, again, because that energy of purification and cleansing and just kind of tidying up can go a long way. Another thing that I feel like can really fuel our soul right now is connecting with others, your friends and family. And I feel like this is another thing we can kind of put to the side, because a lot of us want to be reclusive at this time. I totally get that. And there's time and space for that. Like we said, we have been stuck inside this past week, but also like we're humans and we need connection. So maybe that's like FaceTiming a loved one or texting a friend or family member and being like, hey, how are you doing with everything going on right now, with being in the middle of winter? How are you doing? And you can make it sound less weird if that sounds weird to you, but just like checking in on people. Like if you feel like no one is checking in on you, look at the opposite, because everything's a mirror. Like, are you checking in on the people that matter to you? Like, don't feel guilty about that, but just put out what you want back. If you want more people checking in on you, go check in on more people. App that I've been loving and has helped me stay connected to a lot of people that I don't live by geographically is the app Marco Polo. And that's where you can just like video chat asynchronously, because it's really hard to like plan a Zoom meetup or Google meetup in this season of life. So we'll just like send videos to each other, which you could obviously just do through like text messaging, but that's just like an app that really makes it a lot easier to video message each other. And something about seeing someone's face and hearing their voice is so different than a text. And I don't know if you're like me, I get overwhelmed with texting sometimes because I want to like explain this big old thing, but I don't want to type it all out. So video chatting has been a way that has really just been soothing to my soul. And sometimes you don't realize how much we need human connection until you're like deprived of it for a while. And then you like catch up with your girlfriends or catch up with a family member, and you're like, oh my goodness, I needed that. So Imbolc is a really beautiful time to reconnect with friends and family in whatever way feels aligning to you. And also just like giving yourself some time for like silence and processing and feeling. Again, I don't want to get into too much of like the heaviness of the world, because there's always something going on. But it felt like this month, like it was a big thing going on that just affected so many of us. Like, just take some time to sit with yourself, feel what you need to feel, and like go from there, because there's so much noise on like how you should feel or what you should be doing. And what I think is really important is just like tuning into yourself. What feels right to me? What do I believe? What do I want for the future? What energy do I want to call in more? How can I embody that more? And what actions can I take to help bring in that energy? And maybe that is like taking big actions, like calling your senators or talking to family members about it or donating. Or maybe it is just like how you show up as a mother, how you show up as a human being in this world. But I feel like slowing down and tuning into what energy you want to bring into this world rather than like what you want to see less of. That's just like law of attraction 101, right? And you got to stay informed. I get it. You got to stay informed, but like focusing less on the things you don't want to see and focusing more on what you do want to see. And that doesn't mean like spiritual bypassing or being toxic positive. Of course, feel your feels. It's okay to be upset and angry and overwhelmed and have anxiety. 1000%. But when we don't like fully process that and feel it and just like carry it around with us all day, that is unhealthy. So just like give yourself some time and space to process those things, whether that's through journaling or talking about it to someone like a therapist or family member. Journaling has been key to me. And that is something that is perfect for wintertime in Imbolc, is reflecting and really reflecting on, what do you believe? What do you believe is right and wrong? And what do you believe we need more of in this world? Again, this is such a bigger topic than I can cover in this video, but just perfect for winter and for celebrating Imbolc. My little Luna girly just loves to be in these videos. I think she has a lot to say on the topic. It's been so funny. My last few sit-down videos, she always makes an appearance at the end. And I feel like for me personally, like talk about things coming up in the winter time, and flexibility has been a huge one for me in this season, just because like you're trying to nail down a routine. Naps are not happening or not as long as you thought they would be, or it's hard to get her down to sleep sometimes. That's just like a part of the season. That just is what it is. But I can control how I show up mentally in those moments. And again, I do let myself process when I'm feeling frustrated or angry, but it always comes back to being flexible. That is such a good energy to be in. Really what it comes down to in this season is just like being reflective. Like, what energy do you want to bring into the rest of this year? What has been a struggle for you so far in 2026? And like, how can we continue to reflect on that? And I say purify with quotations because sometimes that can have like a real, I don't know, just controlling vibe to it. Not controlling, but like purify makes me think of like a lot of religious context, which can be just kind of icky feeling to me personally. But I say purify in like the gentlest way. Like, how can you purify maybe some energies that you're holding on to in the start of the year in January, and like process those and turn those into lessons so you can show up as your most aligned self. Right, Luna? Great. All right. I hope this video was inspiring to you, and I hope it was like the message that you needed in this season as we continue through February. And I have some really exciting vlogs coming up. We're actually going to Florida next week, which is something that's really helping me get through the winter. So if you can travel to warm weather, definitely do it. We are very grateful that my dad lives in Florida, so we can go visit him, and that's what we're going to do. But subscribe if you're new here, because I will upload a video of our time there. I have a hodgepodge on this channel. I have sit-down videos like this where we talk about how to live your most aligning, fulfilling, and present life. I have a lot of different vlogs where I talk about the same things in the context of just living life, and I share it all on here because it's really fun for me to do so. And I have a pretty big subscriber goal for this year. So if you can just hit that subscribe button, that helps so much. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this video, and comment down below with how you're feeling in this season. What's helping you? What are you struggling with? Tell me all the things in the comments, and we'll talk about it together, because we're never in this alone. So I'm sending you all so much love, all the highest vibes, and of course, I will see you in the next video.